So welcome to this live event that is presented by STOWA actually, and of course by the for the European Life Funding. I'm very happy to see you all, and it's also quite exciting that we have a real English conference here now, so international. And thank you for attending this meeting of all these great live projects that have been and are currently performed in the Netherlands, and we also have an example of Spain, so that is really nice. Mainly in the scope of the energy and the resource factory, and as part of the celebration, of course, of the opening of this new energy and resource factory here in Amersfoort. This wastewater treatment is a nice example on how life funding can stimulate application of innovations and actually make things happen in practice on a relatively short time span. Otherwise, sometimes end users might be a bit hesitant to start these kind of new innovations, and life really helps them to start this innovation and implement them in practice. I'm today your host, and my name is Merle de Kreuk. I'm from TU Delft. I'm their Associate Professor Sanitary Engineering, and I am very lucky that I have been involved in many of these projects, also the projects that are presented here today, but also in the whole energy factory and resource factory developments. I've been working at Hollandse Delta, the Water Authority Hollandse Delta, for a while, and I was very lucky that I could be one of the first people working on energy factories and bringing this idea to the Dutch water authorities, and also be part in the wastewater treatment plans of 2030 workshops. And those are workshops that I repeat often with my students now. I think those were the starting points of this whole movement of resource recovery in the Netherlands. It opened up a whole new field of research, developments and initiatives. And interestingly, it was not only the technology development that we focused on, but it was also the question if water authorities were allowed and capable of resource recovery and valorizing the products that are produced. Since technological developments move fast, legislation and willingness for change also should speed up for every levels in the organization. The Green Deals really helped in this respect, and especially the possibilities for change were recognized at all these levels. As well in European governments and also national and local governments. And policy changes should be able here to change as fast with our technological developments to make things happen. It is not a competition, but a race that we should run together with legislation and with all these developments. In the end, to bring the products that we make back to our citizens who produce the sewage in the first place. So that is really part of this circular economy. So that is why we used to look at sewage in a way that maybe technologies were already done. We developed everything. Our water quality was kind of okay, and often I was asked during my PhD and my work later on, why are you still in wastewater treatment? We are done, isn't it? Our water quality is so nice. Yeah, maybe we have some hormones, disruptive components left that we should take care of. But the technologies are done. But today we show that technology development isn't done, that there's a whole new field also in the way we look at sewage. In my lectures, I try to avoid the word wastewater. Because how can we waste water? Water is not a waste. It is a resource. And that's why we are here today as well. Of course, we are not only here to share the successes of the projects. It is a pitfall that I come across daily, that we only share successes and present only the successful results, especially in science. And it's a great annoyance to me, since innovators all the time repeat the same mistakes and do all the time the same things when all these mistakes are not shared with each other. It happens to me a lot that I think about a new experiment and I'm very excited, and then I start talking to people and then they say, oh yeah, we tried that in the 80s. Well, we have done that, don't do that again. And then I think, why didn't you publish that you have done that and that it failed? Because then I can spend my brain hours on something else. So I'm very convinced that we should be able to share everything. Our great successes and our less great successes. And I would say even if a result is negative, we can always learn from it and improve knowledge and finally technologies and ideas. So I hope you feel free today when you present your projects that you will discuss both your ups and your downs. So let us learn today from the finished projects and the projects under construction. And all funded by the European Life funding. And I'm looking forward to all these innovations that will be discussed and that we get insight in life. Well, the funding, of course. So let's quickly start so we can be in time for the barbecue later on. And I also learned that we can have an excursion to the installations here after we finish this program. If I get a bit impatient about the length of the presentation, I will just stand up and then the presenter knows that he or she should finish within a couple of minutes before I start interrupting. So you still have time to reach to your final conclusions. Because I want to leave room for discussion and questions, and maybe you recognize projects or things that you are also dealing with in your projects and you want to start collaboration, share knowledge, share ideas. So there will be plenty of time for that now.